Thank you. Thanks, John. Just to jump off of Nadia's question, you've been explicit that the U.S. does not support an operation into Rafah without a credible, feasible plan to move and protect civilians. Yesterday's operation, as you've also acknowledged, there were reports of civilian casualties. But was the operation yesterday within the grounds of the kind of operation that the U.S. would support in Rafah?
I can't really speak to the specifics of IDF operations. You know I won't do that. They should speak to the operations that they conduct and what that looks like. As I understand that, again, this is rudimentary and early information. This was a specific military raid to rescue hostages and not necessarily indicative of some larger operation that they have talked about conducting in Rafah to root out Hamas leaders that have now tried to find refuge among the million or so Palestinians that are there.
Yeah, so just in terms of what the U.S. would support, is it a question of scale? Is it a question of more targeted operations like this are okay despite possible civilian casualties, whereas a mass operation is not okay? Like just in terms of U.S. support.
Well, with the caveat that this is a sovereign nation we're talking about, and they get to decide what military operations they're going to conduct. What we've said is we wouldn't support operations given the current circumstances where you have, again, more than 1 million people there with nowhere to go and no plan for some place for them to go so that they can be safe. So we look forward to continuing talking to our Israeli counterparts about what that could look like.
Thanks so much. John, on TikTok, can you explain what are the national security concerns that the administration has about TikTok?
As you know, it's not approved for use on government devices, and that remains the case today. And I think, again, I don't want to get into too much of the national security technical reasons behind that, but it does have to do with concerns about the preservation of data and the potential misuse of that data and privacy information by foreign actors. I think that's as far as I can go.
It's wise for people to use TikTok?
Again, that's not something that I'm qualified to say from the National Security Council. All I can tell you is it's banned on U.S. government devices, and we follow that guidance.